Hey, what's up, guys? It's XTI here, and I'm going to be bringing you a Rogue 5.4 PvP guide. It's going to come with the rotation, stat priorities, and what role you mainly play in the arenas nowadays, because it changed a lot over the course of Miss Pandaria with the nerfs, buffs, changes to other classes, and such and such and such. But anyways, today we're going to be right now we're going to be talking about the talents. Well, first of all, this is for subtlety. I'll probably make one for assassination, depending on if you guys want in the comments below. But today is going to be subtlety. So for talents with subtlety, I highly prefer subterfuge. Before, shadow focus was pretty good when it was 100%, but now it's not. So subterfuge is the only one. Night Stalker is just not good at all unless you're like Lolo trying to one-shot people in BGs. Nerve Strike and Combat Readiness, it really depends. For me, I honestly go with Nerve Strike if they're spellcasters, because with Nerve Strike, even if you do, no matter if they're like melee or not, unlike Combat Readiness, it will make them do 25%. Before it was like 50 or something like that. I guess it was nerfed. 25% less damage. They'll do 25% less damage. Sorry, they'll do 25% less damage overall. Combat Readiness is only for melee strikes, successive attacks. It's not for spells. It doesn't work towards spells. So, if you got Combat Readiness instead of Nerve Strike, it'll be useless in a Spell Cleave comp. Deadly Throw will be really good in a Spell Cleave comp, but no one really gets it. It's just another button to use, depending on you, and if you really think it's viable and you really need it, then get it. 45, I get Elusiveness, just because you can spam it with the amount of energy we get nowadays to constantly get 30% less damage for 5 seconds, and I think you can get the glyph to make it longer. But we'll talk about glyphs in a sec. Now, I got Burst of Speed just because us rogues constantly need to be running away. Constantly. Now, over the course of Miss Pandaria, Burst of Speed was like 50 energy. Then they nerfed it, then they made it faster, then it didn't do this, and it does this, and they changed it a lot. But now it's a 15 energy, 70% speed boost for 4 seconds, removing all movement slowing effects. Does not break stealth. So that means before, if you try to do it in stealth, it'll break it. But now, I can run around and chase people all I want, without having to worry about energy also. Now, 75 talent trees. Sorry, I'll talk about the other ones. Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger is perfectly viable depending on your comp. I honestly don't like it because you have to do Ambush, Garrote, Cheap Shot, or is completely useless. Shadow Step will always be viable just because of the, it's an instant teleport you can use on a friendly ally or enemy and get the movement speed and be able to get away or stay on top of somebody. 75. Prey on the Weak is always best for subtlety just because of Shadow Dance. You hit someone with a cheap shot and then you just spank them with ambushes and it creates more damage per second and of course allows you to do more damage in the stun, which is always nice. Paralytic Poison, I think it's only viable if you're Assassination where it can constantly be putting the poisons on them because of the increased poison chance. So you're constantly getting the stuns and the DRs or whatever else. Dirty Tricks is nice. I go with that Assassination sometimes just because it makes gouge, doesn't break with your bleed and poison effects, and is no cost, so it's an awesome heal for your healer. And you can just do it and let someone just stay in your bleeds and dots while you regain some energy. Now, Shuriken Toss used to be the awesomest thing in the world during the mid and early expansion, but then they nerfed it to hell, so now it's marked for death. Anticipation is good for Assassination just because you get the extra bonus with your Mutilate and all other stuff like that. But Mark for Death will definitely be your choice for the 90 tree just because it's a short cooldown, gives you 5 combo points for another Eviscerate while you're bursting. It's just awesome. Glyphs. Glyph of Blind, your blind ability also removes all damage over a time effects from the target that will cause blind to break early. Now, you don't need that obviously if you get Dirty Tricks because it makes it wait. Yeah, it doesn't break if you get Dirty Tricks. So, if you don't have it, then you'll need that. Otherwise, you can be CCing someone, you can be trying to, stop someone from doing something, and then the bleeds take it right off, and it's gone. Hemorrhage, just because, like I said, I'm subtlety, so you need to hemorrhage, the hemorrhage bleed into the passive, which Sanguine, whatever it was. Sanguine Vein, there he goes. Increases damage by Rupture by 50% and causes you to deal 35% additional damage to target afflicted by Rupture, Garrote, Hemorrhage, or Crimson Tempest. but if you have the glyph, it also makes it by hemorrhage. Yeah, I already said that. Sorry. Which is really nice, since especially you can easily spam hemorrhage instead of having to use combo points rupture or having to shadow dance to get growth on them. It's really nice for your damage output. Now, for character stats, I'm still in Grievous. I'm getting the prideful and stuff like that slowly. I just got back in the game. For Grievous, you want for stats you want mastery and then crit. Haste is absolutely last because it doesn't scale hard enough to the point where it'll be worth it over the other stats. Mastery makes your finishing moves hit harder and more effective. So Slice and Dice is more effective by 58%. Your Kidney Strike, your Eviscerate, which is our main damage, and your Rupture all do more damage when more common points depending on your masteries. So, since we can't just sit back and shadow dance people to death like we could in Kata, we actually have to do rotations and actually have to do our skills properly. So you need more mastery. You need more crit, obviously, so you can crit higher, have more chance to crit. Your hit chance always needs to be above 3%, but since I got the Vicious Talisman of the Shadow Pan, it's like stupid higher than it's supposed to be. Expertise, it needs to be 3% not to get dodged. If you want it more so you cannot get parried by those stupid warriors, you need to have it by 6% so you don't get parried. But of course, if they do die by the sword, you'll get parried no matter what. Alright guys, let's go on rotations. Rotation for when you see someone either on the wild or in arena is pretty simple. You do premeditation for the quick ones. You do slice and dice so you can start getting the energy back up. Can you try to garrote, ambush, and then eviscerate? That was 110k eviscerate. Sorry for the lag. Then you just want to either, if you can get behind them, if they're not focusing you, then spam ambush. But if they're focusing you and you guys are face to face, spam hemorrhage. If you can spam hemorrhage, it hits hard enough, it puts a bleed on them, you're constantly having all your poisons on them and stuff like that. Now, of course, put rupture on them just for the extra bleed effect, and if you're trying to burst, then you want to save your mark for death for when that is. 132 eviscerate. I'll show you guys a quick burst. Alright, go up to him. I'll attack it on. Ambush, 238k ambush, 221k, 165k backstab. Alright, so when you burst, you want to try to have some energy. So you want to try to pull your energy by auto attacking. Alright. Oh, wrong button. Now, of course, if they're not stunned, you want to cheap shot them. Grow it if they don't already have a bleed on them for the extra damage. And then backstab. But like I said, it all depends on how much energy you have, if you have to backstab now, and all of this stuff like that. My macros, I have a couple macros actually. I have a macro for my burst. I have a macros to shadow step. Tricks of trade macro. Like, there's a lot of macros you want to have. You want to have like target enemy player 1, 2, 3 for your blind. And if you have shadow step, you want to have the same thing. You also want to have something for kick. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different stuff that you can have. And if you guys need it, I'll put it in the info section below. Just ask. But yeah, guys, that was a 5.4 Rogue PvP guide. Oh wait, actually I forgot to say the placement. When you're in arena, your whole placement is to have control. You want to lock down people. That is your whole thing. We're not like in Kata where we're damage dealers. People want us because they have people that can CC. Now they want people that can damage. Back in Kata, we can like fucking run around and backstab and ambush people and kill them in that shadow dance. Now we can't. People are too tanky. People have too much stuff to get out of it, and da 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 da. So now our whole focus, and also because we're squishy, we just need to help keep control. So basically, you don't have to stay on someone the whole time. Like if someone's not focusing you, you can try to stun them, walk away, get re-stealth off, and you can sap them if it wasn't in combat. Go back behind them, Get another opener. Cause some crazy amounts of damage. That's all you want to do. Gouge that guy, blind that guy. Stun that guy. Immune, but yeah. Yeah, you know, like, if you can separate their enemy team, if you can get them separated, if you can get one person constantly locked down, then it becomes a 3v2. You know what I mean? You're still doing damage to one person. That person is so locked down. But it all depends on the match and what you're playing in your MMR and such like that. But that would be your easiest way to look at it. Don't try to do damage. Don't try to just burst someone unless you can. Unless you're in a predicament where you get a great CC off, the healer's not there, and you can burst them down, then by all means Shadow Dance and blow some ass up. But you don't want to make that your main focus. You don't want to accidentally get out of line or get misplaced and then you get blown up and have to use Vanish. You only have 2, and one is a 5-minute cooldown. So you definitely want to try to save your Vanishes and your your Cloak of Shadow, sorry, for whenever is possible. You want to save those. If you don't have those and someone decides to defreeze you, that's it. You know what I'm saying? So rogues are really, really squishy classes. We rely on our defensive cooldowns. You don't want to blow them too early. If you do, you're gone. They just, oh, he's blowing his stuff. Let's try to make him blow it again. You don't have any more vanishes. That's it. You're gone. But yeah, guys, that's 5.4 Shadow Subtlety Rogue Guide. If you guys like it, please be sure to subscribe. There's gonna be a lot more videos to come. I'm gonna have a review, a podcast about the new Warlords of Draenor, what they're gonna do with it and how it's gonna be. Be sure to check it out. Guys, I'm XTI, and I'm out.